I keep saying why me, but why not me? Who am I?
That moment is like frozen in time for me. He was crying, and I knew that's not a normal cry.
Without that early intervention, would he be where he is? Probably not.
Each one of us was crying when we saw that little kid bloom into being what he was. Like, I'm right now as well getting goosebumps.
This child development is very close to Aster's heart.
Because each and every kid is unique and each and every kid needs are different.
Hello and welcome to a very special conversation today. As we mark the launch of Aster DYU Child Development Center, a space made to nourish and nurture not just milestones but also moments of care, connection and development, especially for children with diverse needs, and of course the doctors, parents and the caregivers who are walking alongside of them. So today there are no presentations or lectures. We are here for real talk, real connection and real stories. And before we begin this conversation, which is all about heartfelt stories, honesty and of course healing, we're going to introduce all the people who have joined us today. Some 5 fabulous voices which are with us, starting off with Dr. Prashant Gaure. Thank you so much for joining us. A quick introduction, please.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Prashant Gaura. I'm the founder and director of DYU Women and Child Care, and we are having an association with Aster in creating a child development center here in Dubai, and back in Bangalore also we do have our center. And I'm very excited to enter into this part of child development center where we cater not our routine cough and cold, but this is something which is very close to my heart as well. We are trying to relieve how important it is kid to make them developmentally normal or what, and accepting them as they are. It's equally important to balance the parents, their emotions, and make them feel more comfortable, make them feel more realistic and accept things in a more scientific way, and help them to overcome not just the child's need but also their emotional ups and downs.
Absolutely. Dr. Sharbaz, about you, please.
I'm Dr. Sharbaz, anesthetist and CEO for Aster Hospitals and Clinics in the UAE and Oman. This child development is very close to Aster's heart. Reason being, one of our main aim is to get healthcare accessible and affordable to all strata of the society. And one thing which worries all the parents is the development of the child. And it's very important to associate with someone who is pioneering this field and to take it forward to the next level. And we're here to take the Aster Child Development Center to the next level.
We're also joined by 3 of the most vocal, women who talk about this very, very dearly. Starting off with you, Miss Yasmin. Please tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Yasmin Carey. Nice to meet everyone. I'm a mum of 3. My middle son is on the autism spectrum, so we share a lot online about our parenting journey, not with all the children, but especially with Ellis as well. So we share a lot about, challenges that we face and how we've overcome them, and hopefully we've helped a lot of people as well.
Miss Amreen, about you.
Hi, thanks for having me. My name is Amreen Sugaib. I am a mother to twin boys who are on the autism spectrum. I have 3 boys. My twins are on the ASD spectrum. And they are the reason I'm sitting here. And I struggled initially. So whenever I hear the word early intervention, it really, hits home, because I started my journey 12 years back. So things were very different. And I'm really excited about Aster's DYU, and the team looks amazing. And to me, early intervention is everything. And I've been talking to parents, I've been telling them that early intervention is, the whole life of your child on the ASD or any developmental delays is totally dependent on the early intervention. And the team and the center and the place matters the most. So I'm really looking forward, and I wish you all the very best.
Miss Gulshan, about you, please.
My name is Gulshan Kabarana, and my journey began 28 years back. When I moved to Dubai, I was pregnant with my daughter and not ever expecting her to be so severely disabled. It was after a vaccine. And immediately after a vaccine, she had her first seizure. And she continues having seizures even now. And I started a support group, which is one of the largest support groups in the UAE. We've been running it for 25 years. Everything is free of charge. Nobody pays. In the summer, we have a summer camp going on. Then I am a mentor to an adult with who's on the spectrum. Before that, I was teaching 27 students art, and through art, I was teaching them life skills, and it was so successful. Now I just mentor one artist, and I'm also a hostess for a, and so is Somdeen, of a podcast called POD, People of Determination Cast by Gulshan. It's on YouTube. And yeah, my life has changed completely, not for the worse, for the better. Because through Zara, I've learned so much. And yeah, early intervention, I was already in the field. So I knew what early intervention was and how important it was. And but I'm so new to Dubai, I didn't know where to go. You know, where do you search for a, in those days, internet wasn't there. And I was looking at these yellow pages, speech therapist. Then I knew about occupational therapists, but it was so hard to find them. So to have everybody under one roof, I think is a blessing for every parent.
We're definitely excited about this center. Starting off with Yasmin, these words are the most prominent words when we talk about child development, that you have to detect early, you have to have acceptance, and you have to also work towards, getting the right care. When did you realize that maybe this may not be a phase in your child's life and this actually is something else? Where did the acceptance for you and understanding for you start?
So he was about, I would say, about 1.5, 2, and all of his peers around him, and I have an older son as well. So obviously you shouldn't compare your children, but you do, and you compare them to the other kids their age, and I was like, okay, he's not talking, and then I'd say to my husband, my mum, everyone would be like, this boy, he's a boy, boys are slower, he'll get there. Do you know, like something in my mind? And I just had that mother's intuition, and we sat on it for a while, and then we did realise, okay, we need to help him, because just by turning a blind eye or just ignoring it, we're not helping him. If anything, like he's struggling, we need to help him, and we saw that. The biggest thing is that our parenting journey was then going to change. And like you said, it's changed. I think it's changed for the better, but it's I'm not sugarcoating it. It's very hard. Every parenting journey is hard, but parenting a neurodivergent child, it's almost like I've gone back to school. I didn't even know what neurodiversity was before I had Ellis and before I started looking into the terminology and all of this. So I was quite ignorant beforehand, and I hope that, through advocating and sharing our journey, we've actually helped a lot of other people to understand that there are different children who have different needs, and there are a lot more children out there than what you would think that have additional needs, and so it's great that things are becoming more acceptable, more accessible, and people are talking about it more, which is amazing.
Yeah, and people are also writing about it as well. So talking about your book, Why Me, Why Not Me, and Thank God Me, tell me, how did that come about? What was the inception? Why did you decide to write a book about this?
I am an older parent now, and I think I owe it to younger parents, not who are just finding out and who are in this why me stage. I was there as well for a long time. Not that long, because I had amazing support, and I kept asking myself, I keep saying why me, but why not me? Who am I? And then I said, okay, close my eyes, and I said, who can be a better mom to Zara than me? And then I went through everybody in my family, and I said, no, there's nobody. My sister would collapse. I still had my sense of humor. I still was enjoying life. I said, okay, that's why me. And today, Zara is just, she doesn't speak. She's on a diaper. We have to feed her. But even then, I'm known more as Zara's mother than Jinai's mother. And Jinai is super successful. She's doing everything in life that, but people call me as Zara's mom and without saying a word, So, yeah, I say thank God me. that she chose our family, and it's a wonderful journey. There were ups and downs, of course, like everybody else's. But when you get the right support, you know,
You're able to go through
you can
it.
smell the flowers on the way. Even though there are roadblocks and there are potholes,
Yeah.
you still look around and you see flowers.
Right. Well, in fact, talking about the right care, Dr. Prashant, you have worked with children in India over here. What exactly is it that, is the first early sign that, as per you, parents often miss, and they have to kind of keep that in mind?
See, checking on when any kid enters our pediatric consultation OPD, it's not just about we are looking at cough and cold, or we are looking at vaccination, what they come for. It should be a 360-degree coverage of asking the parents, giving time to them, and asking them how does child doing for that particular age. So we have certain milestones as a warning signs at 2 months, at 4 months, at 6 months. What are the gross motor skill, fine motor skill, personal social, language skill, and sensory development. So these are the dimensions what we look at. So at every stage of life when they come, it's not just about asking my kid is not gaining weight, my kid is not looking chubby. It's not about that. It's about we need to look at their developmental aspect. So when it comes to signs and symptoms, one thing even at 1.5 year, if kid is not responding to when we call names, or it's not just about kid is not interested. It's not that way. So at any point of time, if the mother feels that I'm not feeling, because she's the one who is with the baby 24/7. They see doctor for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or 20 minutes max. But when they feel at any point of time that the kid is something is not right, they have to take consultation, sit with us, and discuss with an open mind, not having any predetermined things that everything is normal. There is a set of parents who deny, and there are a set of parents who are a little hyper. But whatever they have to be very open in discussing and asking every questions what they want to clear about. So in that way, we'll be able to pick things early. So basically, the parents have to be, if they feel at any point of time that they are, something is not right with the child, they have to come and approach the expert.
Okay. Talking about that, your twins and your journey, how did that happen? And could you take us through the initial phase of discovering the symptoms and signs?
I was super ecstatic when I got to know it's twins. I always wanted twins. When I got married, I was like, God, I want twins. So I was very happy when I got to know they were born fine. It was an elective cesarean. You guys were discussing it got so, dangerous. I didn't want to give mine, but I chose an elective cesarean. Everything was fine, but I had nieces. I raised them, so I knew how kids bloom. So when they were 6, I just noticed that they were not blabbing. They were, they were in their own bubble. Since I'm a Google person, and all of us are, and my sister is a doctor. So I started Googling. That was the first thing I did when they were, I don't remember exactly, but they were between 6 to 10 months. And they were not sitting, they were missing the milestones. In my case, they missed all the milestones, and they were my firstborn, so I had no prior experience. But in my mind, I knew how kids are. On their first birthday, I remember my father-in-law was holding my sons, and they were like, look at the plane. And he was just, that moment is like frozen in time for me. He was crying, and I knew that's not a normal cry. And that was a meltdown, basically. Now I know, at that time I didn't know. From there, the doubt developed, and I started reading about it. So around 2.3, I sat down with my husband, who's absolutely in love with his son, and I was like, I think there is a problem. And it still makes me emotional because it's been a long journey, but you relive it when you talk about it. We went to the psychologist. She just asked me 5 questions. How do they respond to name? Do they follow when you point? Do they point? How do they communicate? Or do they, when you come back home, do they come to you? And I was like, no. All the answers were no. And they were 2.3, so she turned and she said, I cannot give you an official diagnosis, but I think that they have strong signs of ASD. And that was the moment. And I started crying. My husband was looking at me and was like, what is it? I was like, do you know what it means? It means their additional needs. And that is how the journey started. But I think when you talk about early signs, since it's a spectrum, so each child is different. But I totally believe in the mother intuition and the gut feeling. It's always right. I knew it from 6 months onward that there is something really off. And now, since I'm into advocacy and I have a podcast, I sit with mothers. There are kids who do not miss any milestones, but all of them have one thing in common, that there was something missing, and we had that feeling. But denial, you don't. It's the last thing you want to think of. So it's a spectrum. Signs and symptoms, they vary, but there is always that missing. What do you call it? Piece of puzzle. It is missing. So. Yeah, you know it. You know it from the beginning. As a mom, I don't know about fathers, but my pediatrician, I don't know, I should be saying it or no, but I agree, pediatricians sometimes, I was told here in Dubai that it's okay, they're twins, I was initially concerned that they might be delayed. I was like, they're twins. My mom was like, they're twins. So this was a thing in my case, that they're twins, so they might be delayed. But at 2, my pediatrician officially told me that go see a psychologist because they are very quiet. Babies are not
For
quiet.
their age, yeah.
So that is how it started for me.
Dr. Sharbaz, as Amreen mentioned, the initial denial, the initial time when you are still trying to accept the fact, and then at the time when you need the right care, it is really important. And this facility definitely seems to be providing that. What are your thoughts? How did this come about? What exactly was the reason or the inception point of this?
So before that, I'm really touched by listening to
I
it.
know,
Very
it is
emotional.
difficult.
So, and kudos to you. I just really like that word, right? It is, why not me? It's so powerful. And I have not heard any powerful word than that, right? Why not me instead of why me, right? Yeah, goosebumps, seriously. And we wanted to initially to start a small way, and even your story, right? It's just hard. I'm a father of four girls, alhamdulillah. And then I've not seen people going through this journey. Listening to the stories, right? I think we're going to go in much bigger form and shape than it is. And I'll promise you that this will be a center not for profit, but to make sure that these people, right, are really cared for. Definitely we will do that, and we will expand this. And already this small center is full. So rather than looking at the fullness of it, right, we need to contribute something, especially these powerful words. This is an inspiration for me.
I have a large group of
I'll be there. I'll be there.
I'll hold you on this.
Sure, I will.
Dr. Prashant, take us through the care facilities. Like, how does it make a difference when there is playfulness and there is care mixed together, not just therapy?
See, when we talk about kids, we cannot, and especially we are, differently abled kids, when we are talking about them, we cannot manage them in a regular way because they are differently abled. So it is not that their IQ is less or anything. It's just that they are unable to communicate and tell what they feel. But they understand, they do understand. It is just that the mind gets overexcited, hyperstimulated or understimulated, because of which they are unable to express what exactly they feel. They are unable to form a word. So when you're caring such type of kids, we cannot have a conventional way of doing it. But yet we call it as, in our heartbeat, we call it as, regular pulse rate, irregularly regular. We have different things. So in this case, it's going to be an irregularly regular. That is like with every kid who are coming in, there is something called as customized therapy which needs to be done for each and every kid, because each and every kid is unique and each and every kid needs are different. So when you're caring, we have to form an individualized, customized screening, assessment, diagnosis and intervention. These are the 4 major things when we do it broadly, any kid who come with us. So these are the 4 things which needs to be done. So we are going to customize each and every kid based on their need. Few kids would need more of behavioral therapy. Few kids would need more of occupational therapy. Few kids would need more of a speech therapy. Few kids would need more of a sensory stimulation or sensory issues if they have. So we have to sit with the parents, discuss with them, do our proper. We do have certain a lot of international assessment tools which are available, which we are using it here, like Pearson's, Bailey's. We have a lot of things which will give us a clear idea about what exactly. But it's not just about the piece of paper and protocol what we follow. It's about connecting with the mother, with the family, because at the end of the day, the kid is coming here for 45 minutes. We have to understand that. It is the parent and the family who are spending 24/7 till their last breath. So more than therapy, what we give here, which is also important, we have to help the parent and family to handle them at home, at different situations, when they go out, when they are in schools, when they are at home. So it should be a complete care, not just about coming for 45 minutes, giving some therapy session and sending them. It won't solve the problem. Because here we are trying to prepare and society and the family to be with them, with our differently abled kids. Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm so happy for the kids who are going to come here, because this seems to be a place that's going to care and nurture them. And definitely, as a parent, you have to be so strong. So this is actually going out to Yasmin, Amreen, and Zara's mom, Gulshan. Zara's mom.
Most powerful moments.
Yeah. The question is that, like you said, that it is important to have the acceptance and early understanding of the child's requirements, how differently they would be needed to taken care of. But when you start, only you know how strong you guys have to be, because the child doesn't know what the journey entails. What are those small wins that you celebrated, which made you feel like, okay, we are on the right path and this is going to give me more power in the future? So starting off with you, and I'd like all of y'all to answer one by one.
There's lots. There's been so many within the last couple of years. So Ellis was completely non-verbal before. He's now talking, he's communicating. Like you said, even when he was non-verbal, he wasn't able to speak. I knew it was all in there, So we were always talking to him. He had an amazing SLT. He would give us tips on how to change things at home. It's not just like a therapy session. It's what you do at home. So every day you're working towards, it's small things, But he can talk. He can swim. He can climb. He's so active. He's so intelligent. He can build jigsaws. He's learning to read and write. He's doing all of these things. But when I look back, I never thought, get really emotional, but I never thought that it would happen. So for me, I think without that early intervention, would he be where he is? Probably not. Sorry. It is emotional, isn't it? It's such an emotional journey, but I think when you get to that point where you see the changes, because when you start, you think, oh, what am I doing? We're going to therapy again, nothing's changing. And it's not a quick fix. And there is no cure. I don't want to cure Ellis. I just want him to be able to reach his full potential. So yeah, sorry.
This is amazing.
Oh, I wasn't going to cry today.
I can share one. In fact, my cousin's son, when we initially got to know about the same thing, that okay, there is going to be some different requirements over here, I remember from that child not being able to talk to being able to do a proper full recital at school with all the steps remembered. It was such a huge win. Each one of us was crying when we saw that little kid bloom into being what he was. I'm right now as well getting goosebumps, because it's just a marvelous journey that makes you a part of. Like you said, those are the powerful words we're going to live by. Why not me? Amreen, your any wins you want to share with us which made you feel stronger through the journey?
I wouldn't say early. I'd say it's a whenever they do something. My kids were delayed in everything. Since they were twins, but they were both different from each other. And there was a lot of self-hitting behaviors. There's a lot of aggression. And initially I had a struggle to accept. And I usually get this question a lot that what do you do when it gets dark around you? And it does get very dark when you get the diagnosis, especially when it's your firstborn, because there's a lot of dreams, there's a lot of hopes, they'll go to nursery, school, college, university, and all of it just, for me, it shattered for together, like for both of them. It took me time. Initially, I was really frustrated because, you see kids around me and the same question, like, why my kids? Like, why them? And they were super adorable. They were really chubby babies. And initially, I didn't know how to get a hold of everything, to be honest. I didn't know about therapy centers. I didn't know about early intervention. But I got up after 1 year and I was like, enough of the dark, enough of the depression. I just told myself one time that if it's not me, it will be no one, not even my husband. I stood up, I was there every freaking day, 6 to 8 hours, every day in the centers, talking to the therapists. How do I do this? How do I do this? It was just madness. And I used to tell my husband, stay out of it, and, he was, I don't know how to put it in words, but parenting, you have clashes as well when you're raising a special needs, and moms are more, emotionally attached. And I was like, if I'm getting a little louder, it's for their betterment. I was a bad cop, to be honest. And the initial early intervention, I have goosebumps because whatever they learned in the early intervention, it still stays with them. So whenever there is a center I hear about, I get really excited because, like you said, I completely agree. It's a teamwork. So I cannot take the whole credit of whatever the early wins was because the wins were. It was the therapist, it was me, it was my husband, it was a collective effort. And I celebrate every freaking thing. I am a very, I don't know, I'm not a positive person at all. I'm a crazy person. They're not doing it. I can't lie about it. I am a crazy one. I told you I'm the bad cop. I'm like, if you have to do it, we have to do it. Like, I just got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis myself. So there are mornings when my fingers are swollen. But they struggle with brushing their teeth. So every morning I'll just get up and I'm like, I have to do it. My husband's like, take a break. I was like, no. Maybe it's a sign from the universe that I need to prepare them. Usually we worry what will happen when we are not there. And that's my biggest worry. But again, this is what I've learned from my father. May God bless him. That when it's difficult to look at the positives, my sons are beautiful. They look like angels. They are the most gorgeous babies I've ever seen. They take a bite of the chapati, dip it in the curry and eat. I'm like, woohoo, like, we did something. I call my husband, they ate their roti themselves. And you're like, oh, I'm in a meeting. I celebrate everything. You look at me in the mall. They just asked me for Papa Roti the other day, and I was like going nuts in the mall. My husband was like, what are you doing? I said, he asked for something. Because they have been non-verbal until 7.5, and then they started saying words. It was a lot of work, but gratitude is something I have learned from my journey. I look at them, I thank God every day that they can see, they can walk, they can go to the toilet, they've started eating, they've just learned swimming. They don't want to listen to the coach, but they swim like fishes. I go under the water and I look at them and, it just makes me really emotional that they have come a long way. Parents work with the children, but I am all for the kids. They can't speak, my kids can't speak properly. But I just look at them, how much they have come. They've come a very long way from being non-verbal to not even pointing to now they just tell me, let's go to bed. And, it's, for me, I think I give the credit more to them because I don't know what goes on in a non-verbal child's head when he's struggling, when he's crying, when he's having a meltdown. There are days when they'll hit themselves to a point where they start bleeding, even now. And but I'm hopeful. I mean, they have come a long way. I have come a long way. I have a beautiful school that's working with them, and I'm all up for. I'm not a positive person again, but my children are very hardworking, and I love them every day. And now I know since I have not lived, I just want to enjoy my life. I am not a paranoid parent anymore. I don't look at the deficits and the wins the way I used to look at them. Now I look at them just like any other child. I look at parents who are snatching the ice creams from the ASD kids' hands. Like, it's sugar. I understand. But I think you need to let them enjoy their childhood as well, because they grow up and then there are different struggles. I don't want to think about them right now. They are going to be teenagers after a few years. But I want to enjoy every moment of my life with them. That's my motto.
Gulshan, I think, I should ask you appropriate question would be that 25 years of running a support group as well, you must have come through so many stories. Is there anything that you think that the parents could do differently to help the child and help themselves?
I think the most important thing is letting them grieve, letting them go through all those, because we are grieving. We were expecting this absolutely normal child, and then we are thrown into this world, and we don't want to be there. Nobody. I go to universities and I talk to the students there. I said, how many of you are planning to have a child? All the hands go up. I said, how many of you are planning to have a child with a disability? All the hands come down. I said, yeah, it's not something that you plan for, but trust me, in your class, at least 2-3 of you will be parents, 100%. And then they come to me and they say, ma'am, do you think it's me? I said, so allow yourself to breathe. Till you come to that acceptance, nothing is going to change in your life. You accept your child where the child is. Don't accept when my child starts talking, when my child starts, love the child unconditionally. And take care of yourself and take care as a couple. So important. I'm saying it as a much older mom. I'm 61. It's really important that you stick as a couple, because divorce rates are really high in parents, moms especially, who are not taking care of themselves are overwhelmed, and I don't want to see that happen. So we formed a moms group also as a bi thing, and they just have fun. And I keep telling them, nobody talks about the child, nobody wants to. Just have fun, enjoy. I missed out because I already was in this field of special education. I knew about early intervention. It was started like immediately. First seizure, okay, let's start. Let's not let her get delayed for anything. I did everything right under the book. But what has to happen, happens. And when I came to acceptance, and it was my older daughter, Janai, who just accepted her sister the way she said, but why can't you? Do you want me to talk? Why do you want Zara to talk? Because every time I'm talking, you're saying keep quiet. Do you want your child to talk or not talk? So, it was, and she was giving me all the gyan. And I learned so much from a 7-year-old who accepted her sister from day one. And I tell that to the parents. First, before you can do anything for a child, take care of yourself.
Absolutely gorgeous conversations. I'm so full right now. Our hearts are full, right? Dr. Shabazz, you want to say any words before we wrap this conversation?
Yeah, it's a powerful conversation. The word gratitude. And I thought I'm a good parent till I met you guys. And then these are super parents. And this moment, every single second I was counting the blessings and how grateful we should be. And kudos to all of you. And inshallah, we will be there to support such parents. We don't see the journey what they go through. We see the clinical side of it. But you guys are the ones who are opening that windows of emotions to let us see. And together we will do something great for the society, inshallah.
Dr. Prashant, any last words you want to add to the conversation?
See, accepting in our life, if you accept everybody as they are, as pure they are, without expecting any change, any modification, because God has specifically made each one of us like a crystal clear certain things. No cuts, no other things, accept them as they are, irrespective of whether they are differently abled or any other person, it doesn't matter. The moment we do that, the half of the problems are solved. And the second thing is, just because we have two kids, one kid is normal and another kid is having certain issues, when you talk to the other kid, you should talk to them independently without having frustration, irritation, or feeling of there is something wrong, or we have to give additional care, or whatever it is, when you talk to that another person, you should talk to that other kid in a normal way without forgetting this part of the story. Because only then, because that kid also has come in the same family, just because you have to give more attention, we do agree, but that doesn't mean that you cannot neglect, or you cannot talk to the other kid by telling, see, mama is busy, daddy is busy in handling this kid, why are you, that will hurt them, because it is not their mistake. See, every kid, we have to treat them because they are the gift of the God. And in my practice, I see every kid as a God, because they don't complain, they don't envy, they are like the purest form of human soul. And especially when they are differently abled, that is a privilege and a gift for a parent to serve a God with utmost purity. So it is like, they are doing a divine job of treating a human soul without any purity. So for parents, accept as they are and be together, like she was telling about, the couple being together. It's the most important thing, because it's your kid. And balance your personal life, emotions, and that's the most important thing. And if you're able to do all these things, and with good support and awareness in the society, definitely, we can make a major impact.
All right, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have this conversation with you, and thank you so much for being so open about your emotions and your experiences. It was really, really a pleasure to have you all here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And see, this is exactly the reason why Aster DYU Child Development Center exists. Not just as a center, but as a circle of care, where the parents don't feel that they are walking this path alone. Thank you once again. It was a pleasure to have you here.